Hey fam, what's up, what's up, what's up? This is Robert Anton here, robertanton.com, coming to you with your no frills commentary from a singer. Alright then, so we had the battle rounds tonight once again. It's episode 3, I believe, third night of the battle rounds. And I am going to jump right into the commentary for you and get it over with. It was a 2-hour show tonight and I actually had a pretty good time. Kind of got a little tired, a little lazy at the end, but that's alright. TeamBlake, we started out with Julio, Cesar, Castillo versus Terisa, Griffin. They did Conga by Gloria, Estefan. I love that song. I used to party to that song hard, let me tell you. So, they were having a little problem with the pace of the song and tripping over the lyrics in rehearsals. Even like the final rehearsal, you know, it's kind of like, oh, it's so fast, and it really is. So, you know, I was like, oh my God, I hope they can catch this. But especially the Latin guy, I was surprised that Julio was like not really on top of this, didn't know the song and all that good stuff. That was surprising to me. So in the battle, I wrote again, I love this song. Because I really do. And they started it out really good. Terisa was getting in some good runs and I was loving her playfulness. She was acting silly and being playful, you know, jumping around a little bit. Cesar was struggling a little bit, but he sounded okay to me. This was fun and both did a good job. But I think, you know, Terisa took it personally. Xtina was speechless. Ceelo complimented Terisa, and Adam said he was kind of speechless. So I'm like, what are they holding back for here, right? So Blake chose Julio, and I was so disappointed. I was like, what in the heck? Why would you choose? Oh my God, you know. But the steal came in and Ceelo, the crowd was chanting the steal and Ceelo stole, and I was very happy that he picked up Terisa. Blake sometimes just gets on my nerves. Next we had TeamXtina with Duron versus Paulina. They did Just the Way You Are, Bruno Mars. Xtina was saying that Dez's pronunciation in rehearsal was too crisp and she wanted him to like maybe, you know, just mellow it out a little bit. I don't know. Crisp pronunciation is a good thing most of the time, but I don't know. You know, people have what they like and what they don't like. I thought he sounded fine. She told Paulina she shouldn't add too many ad-libs, you know, that she was doing too much. And from Xtina, she talking about you shouldn't add too many ad-libs. You probably are doing too much. Cause you know she's the queen. So she telling you add too many. You know you going in the wrong direction. Put it in, rein it in, baby. So in the performance, in the battle, Dez kicked it off, but seemed just a little behind the beat to me. Paulina sounded really interesting on her verse. Her voice was just so different, so strange, so, I don't know, I want to call it special, but it was just different. Dez got off a good riff on the ending in there, and Paulina was being kind of cutesy. They sounded good on the big notes together, and Dez kind of flubbed a little bit of his falsetto near the end. He was going into when they were about to go into the final little soft part where they did harmony together. To me, he kind of tripped off a little bit. It didn't come off so good. In my opinion, I would have gave it to Dez because I just thought he was on top of it better. Just everything about it, like it was just more well-rounded, and I thought he did a better job. Ceelo liked Dez for his total package. Adam thought both were inconsistent, and there were little places for each of them where I felt like, Xtina chose Dez, and all 4 coaches agreed on that. Next up we had TeamAdam, and it was Benji versus Sam Jones. They did You Give Love a Bad Name by Jovi. And Mary J was telling Sam to hit the note with emotion if you can't hit it naturally. Adam was telling Benji not to growl too much because he was constantly hitting that one thing, beating it, beat it, and beat it. You know, and it's just like anything. You have your little bag of tricks, things that you do. You pull them out every now and then, just as a little flavoring, a little seasoning. You don't want to over season it because it becomes too much. So they started out all up in each other's face, doing a lot of attitude. It was like, yo, I was like, y'all better go. They were ready to battle. It was kind of intense. Both were sounding pretty crisp and brought a lot of emotion, though I was liking the way Benji played with the words. Then he pulled out the wail that he does, the big scream or whatever, and he did a run into it, and then the end he did it again, you know, and I thought it was great. I thought it was perfectly placed. I thought it sounded good. You know, sometimes they say 3 is a magic number. You hit it once, you hit it second time, you hit it third time, and then you leave it alone. And that's exactly what he did. I thought it was great. I wrote, wow. and he ended doing his thing. The 3 other coaches thought Benji won it, but Adam chose Sam, and he said because Sam had more control of his voice, and there was no steal for Benji. And I was like, oh, I was hoping that they were going to steal him. Somebody's going to steal him, but they didn't. Next up we had TeamCeelo with Nicholas David versus Todd Kessler. And they did She's Gone by Hall & Oates. Let me tell you. And Ceelo's talking about, he brought them together to do this blue-eyed soul because they both had it in them. So Rob Thomas was trying to get Nicholas into the competitive spirit while he had like a little sit down with them, while Todd was trying to figure out how to make the song personal, how to really, add that extra dimension of emotion to it. Nicholas had such a good sound when he started out in the battle on this. I was like, he opened his mouth and he had this beautiful rich tone going on, and Todd, when he started his after, and this happens a lot, after hearing Nicholas and then Todd came in, he sounded thin and nasal to me in comparison. They had some good harmony going on. I also like Nick's faces, and he was making faces while he was doing it. He had a long beard and stuff like that. It was just interesting to me. And I didn't really feel like Todd found that connection that he was looking for. It didn't come across to me, though he sounded okay on the song. Nicholas was getting a lot of love from all the coaches, and Ceelo chose Nicholas to win the battle. He called him Saint Nick. Next up we had TeamBlake. It was Lilia Broussard versus Suzanna Chauffeur. They did Dog Days Are Over by Florence and the Machine. So Lilia was falling under the pitch during rehearsals and stuff like that, and Blake was kind of warning her and asked her, make sure to check. He was telling Suzanna that she had all these different sounds and people that she could sound like, but she needed to try and find and pick a voice to be who she is instead of switching up in the middle of the song. So during the battle, I thought they both had nice voices and sounded good in their own way, but I think Lilia was a little more fierce and focused for me. Christina said it was really beautiful. Blake chose Suzanna as the winner. Naturally, I didn't agree because I thought, like I just said, but that is the way. All night they've been going a little contrary to what I've been thinking, so I ain't even worried about it. I know who I liked better in them. No matter who they chose, they all have their own agendas of what they're doing. So the last battle had TeamXtina, and it was Jocelyn Rivera versus Sylvia Yacoub. They did Best Thing I Never Had by Beyonce. Rob Thomas talked to them about choosing their moments, and I've talked about this before in many videos, and especially in many of these commentary videos. So go back and watch a few of the other ones and you'll see what he is talking about. So I wrote such pretty girls and nice voices. Both came out with a good intensity, but Jocelyn found some good times to lighten up while Sylvia kind of kept it at one emotional level. I was glad when Sylvia, finally found a little smile here and there. Sylvia really has a big voice, and Jocelyn has a great tenderness, and she was getting off some really good runs, some good melismas. Adam thought it was a little too much at times from both of them, the whole competition. Adam chose Jocelyn, as did Blake. Christina chose Sylvia, and she said she went with the power. She really understood the power and the intensity of Sylvia's performance. So we got a steal again, because again the audience was chanting steal, 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 and Adam and Blake both chimed in to steal Jocelyn. So they were going back and forth, and Blake reminded her that he hit his button the first time that she performed in the blind auditions. And Jocelyn chose, I wrote, after asking them both a question they didn't really answer. Jocelyn chose Adam. And Blake yelled out, "It's the end of her career." It was kind of funny, and I hope it's not true, but it was very funny to me. What did you think of the performances tonight? Did you enjoy all of the shenanigans that are going on? The judges, the coaches are the real stars of the show. Naturally, everybody is saying it, everybody knows, and they really are, but there is so much great talent. I was talking to some people about it on my gig, and I was just saying there is just something, they don't really watch it, they don't really keep up with it, and saying, well, who's good? And there's just so much great talent out there, and I am so thankful that we have stuff like X Factor, The Voice, American Idol that are bringing us, and always still Showtime and ThePolo, that are bringing us so much good, new, fresh talent. This is Robert Antime. Please make sure to thumb this up if you enjoyed it. Tweet it, Facebook it, Tumblr it, and any other social network sites where you know they are discussing The Voice. Alright, I'm out.